Hello. Yeah, you saw me hit the button there because the button's on the wrong side. um, all right. So I'm here to talk about the first three stories of um, the Future History Project for the week, and I had a great time with these first three stories. These things are amazing. I'm a little late getting this out. The thing is, Becky gets home at like 6 o'clock in the evening or later. Then we still got to make dinner, got to eat dinner, and after that, it's pretty late, so we're not able to do a video. But this is Friday night, so we're gonna do the video. These will be out Saturday, so I'm glad to be getting these done. But this Future History Project, headed by Shawn D Standfast, and my fellow co-host is Mark Richardson at Richardson Reads, who great at talking about these things. He reads a whole lot of stuff, has read a whole lot of stuff, has probably read most of this before, but yeah, I definitely want to get to talking about these because this was so far the best first 60% of a week that I've had with this project. These were awesome. These stories were so good. The first one is a really pretty short story called Segregationist. It is about a man whose heart is failing and he needs a new heart. So he shows up at a transplant place and they ask him, would you like a metal heart or a plastic heart? Metal heart, not plastic, a metal heart, or I can't remember the word they used, not polymer. I can't remember the exact word they used to, but it's pretty well a plastic heart. But then they explained to him that the metal heart, yeah, sure, the metal heart is tougher on the outside, but harder to get to. What's the point of having a metal heart? By the time something gets to your heart anyway, you're going to be dead. So why would you want a metal heart? Why wouldn't you go with something that is a little closer to what a human has in their body in the first place? We know now that sometimes metal is going to be better. If you're talking about a bone, you may have to put metal in the bone. Plastic's not going to to do the trick. I don't know what artificial hearts are made of these days, but usually they're not even used. I don't know when the last time an artificial heart was used. I don't know if it's something that they still do at all. But this was a great story because it got to a pretty human aspect of, and a pretty human idea of, the guy sounds like he was born in the South. His logic sounds like he was born in the South. Yeah, and I know I make a lot of Southern jokes because I live in the South. I hate the South. I don't like the people here very much. And I'll probably be here for quite a while longer. But his logic seems like he would have been born and raised here in Georgia. But it's tougher. Okay, but what about all the other aspects? And he couldn't get past the fact that a plastic heart is just not as tough. But he decides on a metal heart, but I'm not telling it well, but this was a really cool story. Really cool story. And it was actually done in a journal, sort of, that came from a medical company back in, I believe, 1965 or 67 or something like that. A place you wouldn't realize would have a journal or would have a science fiction story in one of their magazines. But I really enjoyed it. I think anybody could enjoy this story. It's so cool, and there's a twist at the end that I won't give away. I usually don't care about giving it away, but that's kind of big in this story. But yeah, I had a good time with that story. Second story, Let's Get Together, was during the Cold War, even though I think it was long after the Cold War in our history actually ended. The Cold War had been going on forever by this point in this story. I don't know when the story took place. Like, I think it was 2057 or something like that. It says, but I don't. Wait a minute. Here it is. No, actually, it doesn't say. I thought this was the story that actually said, but I think it's the next one. But it's somewhere around that time. The Cold War is still going on with Russia, and even though they no longer say the Russians, they just say them, and them is capitalized, which I found interesting. The reason he did that was to make it sound like it was venomous. It was full of venom when it was said, and when it was read. But this story, they believe that some robots have been sent to the United States, 10 of them, that look like humans, and have already infiltrated our society. Now, they said they don't think that anyone could tell just by looking at them that they are robots. And this is about how some of the U.S. government does not believe that they are here. And there are some who know that they are here. And it goes back and forth like that. This is one of the longer stories of the week, but God, it's so easy to read. There's intrigue. There's a little bit of mystery involved. There's just all kinds of really interesting things going on in this story. It was my second favorite story of the week, I guess. So far, I've got one more to read, but I am having a great time with these. And this was, you can tell it's not modern. You can tell it's not totally modern, but it's a fun story. It's easy to read. And I can see how, if this were to happen, how exactly this kind of thing would still happen to this day. Them trying to find out who it is, them trying to use machines, for facial recognition software, X-rays, all kinds of things these days to try to find out. They were talking about putting a machine, an X-ray machine or a metal detecting machine, in sporting events, because they would like for people to think they're actually trying to catch these people, just in case something happens. Well, come to find out, one of the people in their midst, and one of the people reporting to them, is actually commanding the rest of these. Is commanding these 10 robots that are, and he is the 11th. So yeah, there's spoilers here. But read it anyway. I mean, even with spoilers, it is so worth reading. And and then he calls and they self-destruct, and they're all in different places, so they don't all get to meet at the same place for massive destruction. To self-destruct, they have they have nuclear capabilities in their robot bodies. They have explosives. It's such a cool story. And while it may not have broken brand new ground, I don't think it really needs to. Actually, it probably did break some new ground at the time. This was a good one. This was a great story. But the third one is actually my absolute favorite story that we've read so far, and that's because I'm a big fan of good mystery stories. And the Tercentenary incident is one great mystery. The President of the United States one day is vaporized, which was a very cool concept. They bring, he just kind of disappears, People can just watch and see him disappear, and which is kind of interesting, kind of a Star Trek thing, That's what happens when they have their phaser set to kill in Star Trek. But in this story, you've got a man who is saying, I'm leaving my position for the U.S. government so I can continue my investigation into this, because I don't. I mean, well, we'll get to that. And he said, but the president has changed, right? And they were like, yeah. I mean, luckily, the president had an artificial person, a robot, who was. It stopped. It stopped. Baby. No, it didn't. Never mind. Sorry, everybody. I thought the video stopped and it didn't. Whew, scared me for a second. I thought I was going to have to start this thing all over. Becky's laughing at me. I'm sure you all are too. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I just got home not too long ago. But the U.S. government kept saying yes, but that, it wasn't the president that got killed. It was a robot that we sent out before the president ever went out to these speeches and things like that, just to make sure that nobody was there. No assassin was there. So if anything got destroyed, it was the robot. Well, this detective, in a way, he's kind of a detective. He is investigating whether or not actually the robot has not taken over the United States as president, and that the president didn't actually die. Well, come to find out, he can talk this guy into this eventually, and we believe that, yes, the president actually was the one who died. The president was a womanizer. This robot is not. And things like this. The president, smoked a bunch. This robot doesn't. The robot does a lot of things better, but the argument is made that it is not okay to have a robot as U.S. president. And while I would argue that it may be better these days, to have a robot than the people we've had over the last quite a few years, that's neither here nor there. In this story, Asimov argued that could not happen. It just absolutely could not be a good idea. And that was just a magnificent story. It's top 5 science fiction short stories I've ever read, and I think a lot of it is because of the mystery aspect of it. Asimov was a really good mystery writer as well, not just a science fiction writer. Asimov wrote a lot of things. He's just most well known for his science fiction and his science writing. But one of my favorite science fiction stories ever, the Tercentenary Incident, and it came from The Complete Robot, which I didn't bring with me. I've got my tablet with The Complete Robot, but I didn't bring my paper copy. And I don't have the cover up here. But, 3 really great stories this week. I know I didn't do them justice. I usually don't. I do these when I'm so tired. Next time, I'll try to do one of these when I actually have a little bit of energy. Maybe I can explain it better. And again, I will say, if you're watching me, go watch Shawn D Standfast. Go watch him first. Go watch Mark Richardson. They're better at this than I am. But I am still passionate about these stories. I love these stories. This was the 13th story I read. I've got another one, and then I'll be doing another one of these videos on Sunday, and hopefully during the day when I have some energy to talk about it. But I hope you're having a great evening or a great day whenever you're watching this, wherever you are, and go get some Isaac Asimov. Man, his short stories are something else. So you all have a great night, great day, great morning, whenever you're watching this.